Welcome to episode one of that one time podcast. I am your host, Sir Maestro Griff. Today, joining me to talk about video game acquisitions and consolidations, we have the smooth voiced assassin, Boom Pow Surprise.
Yo,
We have our resident MacGyver who can build something out of nothing, Solid Snarf.
Buenos dias.
And today, as I stated, we're talking about all of the great news that's been rocking the video game industry for the past 2 weeks. If you've been living on the rock, you wouldn't know that Microsoft has purchased Activision, Blizzard Studios, all of it. It's theirs. It's in their pocket now. How much was it? Was it?
67 billion.
Jeez, $67 billion. And then, not too long after that, the following week, Sony reported that they had purchased Bungie, makers of Destiny and previously Halo.
For about what, 3.1 billion?
About 3 billion, something around that line. So we're gonna be talking about the all of the acquisitions that they've made recently and the studios that are underneath the belt. But first, I guess we can start with your reaction to the news. So what was your reaction there?
Um, I thought it was crazy. Like, I haven't played a Call of Duty game since the new Modern Warfare, and even before that, I did not play the last three games. But instantly I was like, oh, they just if there was a war, they just won it. Because as much as I don't play those games, everybody else does. Oof, oof.
Right. I think what Call of Duty is the highest selling game on Sony's platform every single year. So
I mean, the only thing that I like instantly, I was like, oh, maybe they'll just release one game and they'll continue to update it. Maybe they'll change their plan instead of releasing a game every damn year and changing the meta and then just trying to mash it together and destroy Warzone. Like,
mm,
yeah, because I was playing it when, again, when the new Modern Warfare came out, and it was great. And then the next one came out. I looked at it. It looked like a complete downgrade. I didn't buy it. And then I was asked out on Warzone because all the new weapons they mashed them together, and those were the meta. Right.
way better. Yeah, yeah. What about you, Boom? Any reactions to it when you first heard the news?
Similar to Snarf. I mean, honestly, my first reaction, because I don't play Call of Duty like that, I was just like, oh, well, I ain't missing out on shit. But, personally, I was just like, oh, okay, cool. It's not hurting
hmm
me. But, then I was just like, this is, it's scary
hmm
because of not what this acquisition is about, but just the implications of what it has for the gaming industry.
Right.
And as a gamer, it's scary because it's like there may be games or franchises that I've been a fan of and I've been playing or been able to play or had access to play for so many years, and now all of a sudden I can't play it. And as a gamer, that sucks that I now have to buy into this whole console war that never really should be a thing, you know?
Right. You're being forced into an ecosystem possibly that you didn't want to be a part of in the first place.
Exactly.
Yeah, yep. And I guess that's the easy way to lead us into our next topic. Do you think in the video game business, do you think acquisitions and consolidations are a bad thing or a good thing?
I think it's a
Well,
means to an end.
Okay.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's good or bad because I think it's just change, and change is inevitable. And the reason why I say this, you can have a huge entity buy a studio, and then all the devs from that studio leave.
Right.
So for all intents and purposes, it didn't really change much. Devs are going to leave, and they're going to go do what they want to do. They're still going to make great games. Um, I think that sometimes you'll see these big entities buy studios to either kill a game, which we've seen before, or kill their competition. And
Right.
again, it sucks for the gamer. Sucks for the gamer. I think, and honestly, I think that's the biggest thing. I think the only person who really is feeling these pain points the most is the gamer, and that's kind of sucks. But then you
Yeah,
also have situations where entities will buy studios, and it helps out that studio.
right, right.
You know, so I mean, it's not as black and white to say one way or the other from my
Hmm.
perspective.
What about you, Snarf?
So in the case of Activision, and Blizzard, that their product was suffering, like
Badly.
because of I don't want to jump to conclusions, but saying like maybe they were cashing a paycheck.
Hmm.
Hopefully, a new acquisition means new management, means a whole new thing. Hopefully, they don't keep the same people, and hopefully they have a new direction. So pretty much, like in this case, it gives me hope that maybe Call of Duty can become something good again. You know, um, and then World of Warcraft. I played World of Warcraft when it first came out for a year. It became a problem. I had to stop. But the recent fall off of World of Warcraft, because pretty much they completed the story of World of Warcraft. There's really nothing. No, any expansion would be like I would say Halo 4. Like they should have killed Master Chief. There was no reason to add another story.
Right, right,
So
right.
this acquisition gives me hope. As far as the PlayStation acquisition for Bungie, the callback, no, not the callback, but the counter to it,
Hmm.
counter to the Activision, quote unquote, even though it's smaller. That gives me hope because like I trust Bungie as a company more than Activision. As
Hmm.
much as you can trust a company. Um, it seems like all the PlayStation acquisitions have been pretty much hands off. They let the creator be the creator. Naughty Dog, God of
Insomniac.
War, yeah, Insomniac. They let the creators be the creators, and they just funnel money. And
Hmm.
I'm a huge Destiny fan, so from my perspective on that, it can only be good because again, Sony buys it, they're hands off, they just funnel the money. Um,
And
so yeah,
and it was reported that out of 3.6 billion, 1.2 billion is going directly to the employees to retain the
The
staff
staff.
pretty much, so they don't just leave.
because like
So,
the staff has been working under with Activision for since Destiny came out, and apparently it's just been terrible working with them. So they finally get their freedom just to get bought up by another
yeah,
company. The workers are probably thinking like, here
well,
we go again.
right.
Um, so to retain the talent, it's important because it's like gesture of goodwill, maybe.
Mhm. Yeah,
I don't
goodwill
know.
and good
I'm
faith.
trying.
Yeah.
I'm overly hopeful in this disgusting industry, but I think so far so good. If they keep on buying companies, I don't know much about law or anything, but doesn't the government have to step in and stop monopolies from happening?
Yeah, well, they're already investigating the Microsoft purchase of Activision Blizzard, and they just recently stated that they're going to increase the, I guess, the toughness of the laws and the restrictions to acquisitions and things. So, but even with Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, they're still only the third largest video game company by sales. Number one would be Sony. Number two would be Tencent, and number three would be now themselves. So
Wasn't Nintendo in there?
not in the top. Wait,
I
was there
thought
in the top three?
Nintendo was bigger than Microsoft.
They were
The
before
gaming
this per.
division.
Yeah, before this purchase, they were. I don't. I think after this purchase, they are not anymore.
Don't quote
Not
us.
sure if they're in the top three, but they might be bigger. They might have been bigger
Yeah,
than
and
Microsoft.
and like I said, people like, oh, acquisitions are bad, But if you think about it, a lot of people for the golden era of gaming, as they claim it, from that 64 PS1 era to the PS2 era, there were really only a handful of companies making games.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's going back to the same boat we're in. Whether will it be as good or as bad, we don't know. But like you said, like Boom Power said, change is inevitable. You got to embrace it. The more you fight change, the worse you off, the worse you are. So yeah, there's you just got to embrace change. Not all change is good, but sometimes you just got to ride the wave to get to the destination. So definitely excited for the to see what Bungie and Sony partner up can do, and since they're staying multi-platform, that's good news. Considering Sony has been very anti-cross-platform for a little bit, and a lot of people thought, oh no, they're gonna make it console exclusive, but I'm glad they gave Bungie they can retain their creative vision with Bungie.
Well, how much you want to
For,
bet there's going to be PlayStation exclusives back?
oh yeah, for like exotics,
Definitely.
yeah, definitely. They're gonna recruit some money that way, or it's gonna play best on PlayStation or something like that. Because a lot of people were pissed about the Sony exclusives, like the Hawk Moon. Wasn't that one of them in D1?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the Hawk Moon was so the
Is it
Xbox players
really?
never got their hands on the Hawk Moon until
I
D2
know.
came out.
I know Telesto was an exclusive
Mhm.
when that came
Celeste
out.
was an exclusive. One of the Sniper Borealis was an exclusive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. So they never seen those until now recently, I think, or at the very end of the
Well,
Destiny 1 life cycle. So it'll be interesting to see how that falls out, and especially with Call of Duty. Does Microsoft have the balls to keep it exclusive, which would cut their sales down drastically, seeing that PlayStation has been the highest selling platform for Call of Duty, which is weird because first-person shooters are known to be better on, Xbox, especially in 360 days. That changed over time, I guess, but or do they keep Warzone multi-platform and just pull Call of Duty behind the exclusive ecosystem? That'll be interesting to see what they do with that because they initially purchased what was it Mojang Studios for Minecraft, and they kept that multi-platform. And as far as like money wise, Call of Duty and Minecraft are on the same level in that regard. Like as far as money
I don't
that,
know
that they
about
rake in.
that.
You don't know about that?
uh,
Well, Minecraft was a heavy money maker. I don't know anymore. Probably not as much now, but they I guess as far as its wide reach, Minecraft is just as popular as Call of Duty, especially when you consider Minecraft's audience. I
Sure.
mean, it's on everything, PC, it's on consoles. I think you can even get it on mobile now, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
So,
I don't know. Like I've always been under the assumption that do these game companies really care about each other?
mm,
It's more the people making up, trying to stir up heat
mm-hmm.
than not. Um, but
Oh, yeah.
I
it's
think it's more leverage of sales than anything.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but
I mean, a lot of people don't even know Sony and Microsoft work together all the time. They have a partnership now as far when it comes to cloud gaming. They work hand in hand together.
Mhm.
So
oh well,
they're
And I
not
thought,
as
clearly somebody's getting better out of it. Microsoft's cloud gaming is pretty good.
yeah,
Oh, it's
exactly.
oh boy, don't do cloud gaming on PlayStation. That's trash.
You
yeah,
would
I
talk
mean,
about a,
I
a
think Sony
bad
might be
purchase.
learning from that though. I think
Hmm.
Yeah,
whatever
they're buying
platform,
infrastructure.
yeah, whatever platform that's going to come to light here, I think very soon is going to be leaps and bounds better than PlayStation now, because
Guaranteed.
that's not it.
I think the only way they can compete in that regard, because Game Pass is an excellent value. Like hands down, nobody can argue that Game Pass is bad. If you say it's bad, you're a fanboy. Just let's just go ahead and get that
Yeah,
out
you got to
there.
respect it for what it is.
Yeah, you got to respect it for what
Yeah,
it is. It's great.
if you buy more than 2 games a year, then it's a value. Uh,
Mhm.
I
I
know
think
in
the only
January alone, I
way.
have like 5 games downloaded from Game Pass, so I got my money's worth off of it already.
Exactly. I think the only way Sony can compete in that regard with Xbox, since they're second they I don't know if they're gonna do big releases come out on their service platform. They're not gonna do that because that's gonna hurt their own sales. What I do think they could do is reach into their full back catalog of PS3 and PS2 games. That's where they were hurt, the Xbox, because they have a lot of stuff from back in the day that people would play
And there's
easily.
and the player base has been asking for it for years.
Exactly.
It's but like devil's advocate, but I think it's a good point that PlayStation 3 is so hard. Like
To emulate.
the cell processor, they're using old PS3s to mine Bitcoin because it's more optimized. That
Yeah,
thing was way ahead of its time, and
Hmm.
just to emulate it, near impossible because it
it
was
was a
too
really
good.
good system. It's a really good
Yeah.
system.
I mean, it was a good system, but it was a
Just
bad
hard to develop
system
for.
because
Yeah,
any cross-platform games took too long to come out, and they were broken more often than not on the PlayStation.
Hmm. I'm looking at you, Elder Scrolls. What was it?
Skyrim,
Skyrim. Yeah,
Skyrim.
Skyrim. Ooh. That was real bad. Oh gosh, but yeah, like you said, that has to be a good feature. I could see them doing not day and date releases, but maybe like their older releases, and they definitely have to release them on. Even though they've already been releasing their games on PC, they're gonna have to do more releases on PC. That will definitely have to be a something they have to include on there because people will buy into that very easily. So. And I guess next we can talk about since all of these acquisitions have already been done, what would you like to see from these acquisitions? I guess Snarf already touched on the point. He would like for Call of Duty to stop being yearly release. So what else would you like to see from these acquisitions? Like what would you like to see happen?
I think the before I answer, I think like to add on to what Snarf said, I think the pressure's on Microsoft to perform with Call of Duty now.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, yeah.
Because if you don't put out a great product on your next release, who the fuck's buying that shit
Well,
anymore?
all right. It, the acquisition completes in 2 years,
True,
so the next
true.
release guaranteed going to be bunk. Like in my opinion,
But
Mhm.
also I say you've got to take that into the perception of the population. Because the
Mhm.
perception of the population, you've announced that this acquisition is taking place. For most gamers, it's already Microsoft.
Yep.
So anything that goes wrong, if it
Will
is
be
a bunk,
blamed on them.
it's Microsoft's gonna take a hit.
I mean,
So
on the other side of it, like maybe we're in our own bubble and maybe nobody knows about this. Maybe it's like Call of Duty,
Doubt it.
Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Call of Duty. Who even makes this game? It's Call of Duty. You mean the Call of Duty company? Yeah, it could be that too.
Well, it'll be interesting to see because they've already announced the next 2022 Call of Duty is going to be Modern Warfare 2, the sequel to the 2019 version. So everyone for the most
I
part
might,
loved Modern Warfare.
I buy it.
So it's
that was kind of good. I'm not gonna lie.
So,
yeah.
yeah, already, I'm like, ooh.
So it's like, but it's a lot of pressure because Modern Warfare was so good. So you got to follow up to that, and if it's bad, that'll be three bad ones in a row. Vanguard. What was this last one that came out? No, it was
Van-
World. Damn. No, Vanguard was the last one that came out. What was before?
Vanguard and
Black Ops.
the Black Ops
Cold War.
iteration. It was
Yeah,
called Cold War. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, Cold War, the Vanguard, which is bit. They were bad. A lot of people did not. A lot. I would say a lot of longtime Call of Duty fans were like, I'm not really on it. Warzone is the only thing that's really been keeping them afloat. Everybody's been into Warzone. So, um, uh, that's not something I would like to see from since Sony acquired Bungie, a definitely animated TV show. Sony's great animation wise for their movies or TV shows. I think they could amazingly
I mean,
do a Bungie. I would say TV show, not a movie. Give us a TV show, not a movie, because Bungie's lore is too deep for you to fit it unless you release multiple movies. But give us a TV show. I mean, Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse is amazing. That's
yeah.
a Sony property. I mean,
It's
hands.
But
hard because
isn't
there's so much there.
It is.
isn't Venom?
It is.
It is.
I'm
But that's live action. Hence why I said animated. I said animated. Stay to animated.
Venom wasn't bad. We watched Venom 2 together. It wasn't that bad.
all right. Yeah, no, but No, 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 no. I remember distinctly after that movie was over. It was like that was a bad movie, but it was funny.
It was
Like
enjoyable.
the
It was
pacing
enjoyable.
was terrible.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, but it's like
But yeah,
if Destiny gets the Venom treatment, I'm gonna be quite upset.
Yeah, definitely,
I
definitely.
think I think everyone would be quite upset. I think the devs, I think those within the creative studio, everyone would be upset if it gets that type of treatment.
Have you
I don't think I would hope that Sony wouldn't buy Bungie and then do them like that.
Yeah.
have you seen the trailer for Halo, the
No.
TV
Yes,
series?
that looks good. Looks very interesting. I mean, let me rephrase. It looks interesting. The warthog looked bad, or
Ev-
whatever that was.
Visually, it looks uncannily like
Hmm.
real.
Hmm.
Some of the story beats that they modified just seems
Off.
like
Jarring.
I you know what? All right, I should reserve my judgment, but I'm already judging. Like, um, yeah, it's because again, that's the closest thing it's gonna be. It's gonna be if there is a Destiny one, it's gonna be like a Halo one, same creator, same lore.
Yeah, but see, here's the difference. You have Microsoft, who's not really known for making movies or TV shows, and Sony, who has that background. And so I think they can get a little bit more success out of it, especially if it's animated. I think it would be better if it's animated. To do live action, I don't think you want to touch that. It's gonna be hard. You already got Halo out there in that space, so you go the animated route. It might be easier, to do. Makes more sense, like we said, since there's a lot of lore there in the Destiny series. Um, so I think they could pull that one off a little bit better. And then on top of that, uh, it's Sony's animation is better than their live action. Like there's been a huge surge in video game TV shows and movies. Vox Machinima, um,
Vox Machina.
yeah, Vox Machina.
Yo,
I'm sorry, I said Machinima. I butchered that one.
you deeply offended me. I am so tethered to that series.
It's very good though. It is very very good. You have was it Arcane? Is it not Arcane? What's the other
Yeah, the Arcane lore, League of Legends,
Yeah, League of Legends, that's on Netflix. You have Cuphead, that's coming out. That looks like that'll be pretty good. And now you have
Castlevania,
Halo, Castlevania. Like
brilliant.
they've been hitting it out of the park as far as video game wise, and deservingly so because video game wise we've been getting trashed for years. I mean,
Did you guys know
until
there's a Ratchet and Clank movie?
Yeah,
yes, I did know that came out a couple years ago, which was good.
it
It went
came
under the
out
radar, but it was good.
alongside the game. I
Yeah,
think the game was the prequel to the movie, or vice versa.
something like that.
Yeah,
Something like that.
And Sony did
I
good
like.
there. Is like and it's
You did
crazy
alright.
because in the new game looks like the movie. You can't tell the two
Yeah,
Yeah,
apart really.
yeah.
So once again, they could do very well there. So it's like in the past 4 years, we just started getting good video game movies and TV shows. Sonic helped that out. Detective Pikachu helped that out. So it's like we're finally headed in a good direction. So I think Sony, they've got to hit out of the park with Bungie. You don't spend all that money, and to mess it up like Boom said, you do not you can't mess that up.
I think
No.
Eh,
I think we're at a point where it's like, um, they're realizing that if you make cash grab movies, they don't do as well as if you take your time with it. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're there yet. I think we're still people making cash grab movies. But it's like they've had so many bombs recently. What was the last one? Oh, Resident Evil.
Um,
Resident Evil. They rebooted the whole thing. That thing was straight cash grab. That was
yep.
trash.
Yeah. As quiet as it kept, The Matrix is bad too.
Yeah,
Cash grab. It was
yeah.
terrible.
But
Can't
I
can't
they
can't
they
be
must
doing
have
that.
made it. No, they lost a lot of money. I think Matrix lost a lot of money.
And another thing, I know, so Xbox buying Activision Blizzard helps them out tremendously. They had some studios underneath them, but they didn't have a lot. This puts them, I think, at like 32 video game studios, which is going to help them because they needed help. Microsoft's biggest problem has been creating great original IP games. They've been running off of Halo, Gears of War, and Horizon for the past 10 years.
You guys seen? Have you guys played the new Halo?
No, I
All
have
right,
not yet.
so
I know I heard it's pretty good.
gameplay wise, good.
Hmm.
Story wise, it's So you know how like I always say Halo 4 they should have killed Master Chief. There's no reason for Halo 4, and then Halo 5 came out and I was like there was no Master Chief. There was it's been choppy. It's been real choppy compared to 1, 2, and 3. 4 there's a time jump. There's a brand new villain. Everything on 1 and 2, like all the build up to like a big boss, that just got resolved in the time jump.
Oh
And this
gosh.
one is a totally different thing. And it's
Hmm.
like, all right,
And
so,
so I know they've turned it to a live service game because they said they're going to support this Halo for like the next. They're going to Bungie route. They want to support for the next 10 years. I don't think they know that's very hard to do. Like, let's just back up for a little bit. You remember when Destiny 1 first came out? It was hot for a little bit, and then they fell off hard because live service games aren't really big back then, and they stumbled very badly out of the gate.
well, Bungie had to with Destiny had to worry about PVE content and PvP
Mm,
content. I think if that's true, it would be only PvP content that they're updating, right?
mm.
Because Bungie's the Halo's a story game. It's just campaign done.
Right, right. And so Microsoft, they're gonna have to continue to drop story updates to try, to put that forward. That's gonna be hard. And then the multiplayer stuff will be easy for them to keep pumping out. That's not gonna be hard for them. But I think for as far as the single player content, that's gonna be hard for them to keep doing because as Bungie has shown, it's very hard to make a good live service game. I mean, you look at all the games that have tried to come out and failed, Anthem. The only good ones have been Division, and that even that kind of they Division One started off good. Two was iffy. Whatever live service games have come out that've been absolute trash. You had Anthem. There's been a lot, and I can't even think of them right now. What's the one that recently came out? Third person over the shoulder. Um, it was supposed to be real big.
I
I
can't.
wouldn't say that was live. I don't think that was live service because they launched that as a complete game. Outriders.
Yeah,
Oh
Outriders.
yeah,
Yep,
yeah, yeah,
that's another
yeah.
one. Yep.
I played it.
That,
Played Outriders. It
it
was.
died off pretty quickly.
I mean, yeah, it's a complete game.
Hmm.
It's over the top, bunch of glitches. Sometimes I couldn't even connect online. Uh, but I played through it and I beat it with a friend eventually. About 5 months later.
I mean, just looking at it, there's been way more failures in the live service games than there has been, success. And Bungie's so far is the only clear winner out of that. And I think Sony buying them, people are like, oh, well, they wanted, Destiny. I don't think they wanted the Destiny franchise per se. They wanted help in making different games. Sony's got the single player games down packed. Nobody can touch them in that regard. Like story driven third person games, they got that. Multiplayer games, they need a lot of help there. A lot of help there. I mean, when's the last multiplayer game that they came out with?
I mean, one that I think Mag.
Yeah, and
Uh,
that was a long time ago. Ghost of Tsushima was, I mean, that was good, but it was
yeah.
like a little free add-on thing. It wasn't like a big project. But I mean, you look at few and far between. They struggle with multiplayer games, and who better to help you out with that than Bungie, who are masters of their craft in multiplayer games, first-person shooters, and live service games. And on point, Sony has said they're going to launch 10 live service games in the next 4 years. So it's like you have Bungie who has all infrastructure and knows how to do all this. Who better than lead you, and you can pick their brains to help you do it better. So I mean, it all makes sense, And people like
Yeah.
3 point something billion for that. That was stupid. No, it makes sense when you
I,
see what they're trying to do.
I mean, I could pay them 5 billion, pay them 10 billion. Destiny has consumed the last 6 years of my life. What,
Yeah.
2014? No, it's 8 years. Jeez.
Yeah. And you look at it, Witch Queen, they said they have over 1 million pre-orders for Witch Queen. So
Yeah.
that franchise is not dead, people. It is still going strong. Very, very strong. And so that leads you to believe if we know more acquisitions are coming down the road. Sony has said so. I think Microsoft, they're trying to get through this previous one. They want that passed to the government before they announce anything. But who would you like them to acquire next? What would make sense, or fandom wise would you like to see them acquire?
Buy 2K and then throw it in the fucking trash. Burn it. Burn it.
Oh gosh. And they just announced they're working on GTA 6 too, but oh man.
Nobody
Go
nobody
ahead.
wants to buy Take Two. No, I'm not gonna say buy Take Two Interactive. Just buy fucking Rockstar Studios off of them. Just
Right.
and just release it. Just release it. Shit, because we're tired of seeing GTA 6. At this fucking GTA 5. At this rate, GTA 5 is gonna be on the fucking PS9. Goddamn.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
It's been running for 3 generations strong.
it's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's
They
absolutely
have
Oh my
not
ridiculous.
had a
gosh.
Wii release yet, or whatever Switch release yet.
It's coming.
So
I
it's
guarantee you it's coming. It's coming. Rockstar just heard you. What? Oh, you want it on Switch? We got you.
coming.
I think a good studio from the snap up, like since they're trying to get into like different spaces, that's Sony, and they already got Sony. For people who don't know, they always partner up with studios before they buy them. They like run partnerships with them for at least like 3 to 5 years, and then they keep going. Um, the makers of Genshin Impact, I forgot the name of that studio. It's
That's
already owned.
that's owned by Tencent, huh?
I don't think it's owned
That's
by
a
them. I think they have
Chinese
a
studio.
yeah. I think they have a huge share in it, but I don't think they're owned by them. But you think about it, it's only on PlayStation's console.
Is
They
it?
have a partnership with Sony. Yeah,
Oh, I thought it
that
was.
will be. Oh, I mean, yeah, it is on PC. I'm talking about as far as console, video game console wise. It is on PC, but I think and it's on mobile as well. But I think it'll be very good for them to snap them up because that's a space they're not really in, is the mobile space. And Genshin Impact is partnered up with PlayStation already. It's only console that it's on. It's on PS4, PS5. That would be very smart for them to snap up. Business wise, it was. For fandom wise, I would want them to pick up Konami. Please, please, let them go, Konami. Help them. I mean, they have so many good franchises that we haven't seen in such a long
Yeah,
time. I mean,
Capcom, like it's almost a meme at this point. Like, give us Mega Man.
yeah. I mean, what Capcom you have? I mean, Sony owns Evo now. What better way to snap up a fighting game than Street Fighter? I mean, that would make sense. You would get Street Fighter, Mega Man. Is Castlevania Konami or is it Capcom?
Konami.
Konami. That'd be another thing for Konami. I would like them to see, revive back up. Um, and another one that makes business sense and fandom would be Bandai Namco. Makes all the anime games.
They're too big. They're way too
Sony
big.
already Sony already owns Crunchyroll. They already own what's the other stream service for anime? I always use Crunchyroll, but I forget the other one. Geez, I can't even think of it.
Uh,
But anyway, Aniplex, they own Aniplex. They own all the anime stuff.
right,
Sony
right.
does. To snap up Bandai Namco and keep all that stuff in house would be smart. But they are a huge company. I don't think
Well,
they could
Bandai
pull that off.
Namco is they have a bunch of companies like I think Funimation, Bandai Namco.
Yeah, Funimation. There you go. Sony owns Funimation as well. They own Funimation. Yeah, they own Funimation. They own Aniplex, and they own Crunchyroll.
Hmm.
So it would be very smart. I mean, they're already in the
Oh, no,
anime
no, no!
game.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad. I thought you were talking about who makes all those anime games.
That's Bandai Namco.
That is Bandai Namco.
Yeah, They make all the anime games.
I think they got their hands on way too much stuff. Like, because they got they got the literature also. They got the
hmm
movies, TV.
hmm I would only they should only acquire the gaming division, not the other parts of it. But it would make
Mm.
so much sense since they already own all the anime stuff just to grab, just to grab that video game business. But Konami would be the number one for me for sure because
And
they just care about
Konami's,
pachinko machines. They don't.
yeah. I mean, yeah, they're another thing. Like their main business is not games.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
just building all this stuff, gambling.
Mhm. And in the same vein, Microsoft, I think a good studio for them to acquire, even they need help in the Japanese space, but I don't think they could acquire any company over there because they'll be very standoffish with them. But another company they could get who just spun off from AT&T is WB Games. That would be a good one for them to acquire. Then they would own NetherRealm, they would own Mortal Kombat, they would own the new Harry Potter series, they would own
Yeah,
all that.
it's but like it's the same problem. And from what I see, it's the same problem. It's like they're they can't just get the gaming department from each of these companies. They would have to buy the entire company, and then Warner Brothers has an
A lot of
entire
stuff.
entire span of media across the whole thing.
Mhm,
It's
mhm,
like if Microsoft wanted to buy PlayStation, they wouldn't buy PlayStation. They would have to get Sony.
mhm. Right.
Sony, the play gaming division is a small bit of actual what actually Sony does.
Mhm, mhm. You know what's funny? Overseas, Sony publishes the Call of Duty games. It's not Activision,
Oh,
which is hilarious. So
hmm.
this lets you know how, like you said, how big these companies are and how many how intricate they are, and you can't just buy them very easily. So there's a lot to it. So that
and
that would be.
and all this shit. I think at the end of the day, I think it's just the fanboys and like people like us talking shit.
Mhm, mhm.
Where it's like the company dudes are like, ha, 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 look at them fight against each other, fucking
Little.
morons, and they're all at dinner together, like, oh yeah, yeah. Here, you want a loan to make the next the next God of War? I want to see that. Yeah, here you go. Microsoft just hands out money to Sony.
Oh man, yeah, yeah. They work together a lot more so than people even know. Like,
Yeah.
do you think we ever see Game Pass on PlayStation
Oh
as an
no,
app?
no, no, no.
You don't think so?
But Sony's version of Game Pass for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely coming. But I don't think we'll ever see.
I would love it if we could get a Game Pass app on the PlayStation. That would be amazing. I don't think it would ever happen, but that would be amazing because then I wouldn't have to go out and get another, PC or
Yeah.
another Xbox console. That would be amazing.
Hmm.
That would be an olive branch to gamers because hey, now you can play everything anywhere, no matter what.
There
And if
would
you
be
see,
no reason for me to buy an Xbox.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's where Microsoft is headed. They don't want. I think they're going to stop selling hardware in a couple years. They're going to be like, hey, we just want you to get in our ecosystem, our service, and we'll get the subscriber numbers from you. And PlayStation, if they're smart, they'll be like PlayStation. If they launch their Game Pass competitor, get it out there on the PC, then you're already in Microsoft's ecosystem. Now somebody on PC can play PlayStation and Microsoft games, and they'll all be happy. So I
Right.
don't think we ever get to that point, but I think the only thing that could make them get to that point is if Google, Facebook, or Tencent start getting in even more into the video game space, putting pressure on Sony and Microsoft. Because that's what these acquisitions are about. They're not about Microsoft or Sony. They're about competing with the likes of Google, Facebook, and Tencent, and Take Two as well, because they just brought Zynga. So,
Mm.
so
Yeah.
it's get into it's a bigger arms race than people realize. Because Google wants to get into the game space. Stadia sucks, but they're they just said they're gonna stop doing that and they're trying to sell the service off to companies, the technology to companies now. So that'll be interesting to see. And then of course Facebook is trying to get into the whole VR gaming space and Amazon as well. So they're trying to combat those studios and you don't want them to get their hands in the gaming space. You think it's bad now. Those companies get their hands on it, it's gonna be even worse.
Yeah. It's weird. It's like you think with all the resources that Google and Amazon, Facebook would have. Facebook's really the only one that's kind of succeeding where they try to get into the gaming space. Amazon, they have failure after failure.
Hmm.
The newest one, something world, old world or something.
Yeah, the RP, the MMO game. Yeah.
Yeah, that one destroyed people's graphics cards,
Yep.
and it
New
was
World.
poorly optimized. But now
New
it's pretty
World.
good.
There you go.
New World.
Yeah.
But now it's
Yep.
pretty. It's good, stable. But still, it's just like Amazon trying to get into it. Failure, failure, failure. Even though they have bountiful resources, they just don't have the talent.
Yeah.
And then you have Google
Netflix is trying to
with
get into it
Stadia.
too.
Netflix is trying. Oh yeah, they're trying. Where they're thinking like a streaming service for it, but Stadia, comes out failure. Just it wasn't good enough. But they have boundless resources. It's not the talent, or
Hmm.
maybe not the
Did they?
direction. I don't know.
I think it's the direction. Did they close Stadia or is it still technically
It's still
live?
up, still up. But I think Griff just said that they're trying to sell off the technology.
Yeah, they're selling off. They're gonna stop um Stadia, and they're gonna keep going with. They're gonna sell the technology to companies, the streaming technology. So basically, instead of selling Stadia, they're gonna take the technology behind it and give it to game. Bungie almost was gonna partner with Google and make their own app to compete with Steam and just sell their stuff through that way. But then Sony got them instead. So
Think
yeah,
tank.
Which makes sense because from what I've heard, Bungie wanted their own streaming service.
yeah, that they were gonna get basically make Stadia into their streaming service, get the technology, but that fell through. So, but then again, you never know. Sony could be like, "Hey, we got Bungie now. Google, do you want us to get that streaming technology?" And that
Yeah,
maybe their Game Pass competitor might
I
use
mean,
that technology.
if that's true, like the thing with Bungie, and they were hiring people for streaming stuff, like if
Hmm.
that's true, that would make sense for their acquisition because Sony is building up their infrastructure for streaming.
I
You
was
know,
about to
they're
say it would make so much more sense for Sony. Oh my
yeah,
Yeah.
goodness.
And to be fair, Stadia's technology is great. It worked. It's just how they implemented the service is terrible. They mishandled that terribly. Like you gotta buy the game and buy the streaming service. That's not no. That's like you logging into Netflix, paying for Netflix, and then have to pay for each individual movie. No, no, and
yeah.
then get all the equipment on top of that. That's not gonna fly.
Well, that's
So.
that. Like sneakily, that's the scumminess with um Game Pass. Like
Mhm,
if if it wasn't such a value, it would be a problem. But
mhm,
none of the DLC is there, so you have to buy the DLC. So it's just an incentive. Like nobody's buying these games anymore, base.
mhm.
So now they give away for free, and now people buy the DLC because it's not on the Game Pass. So
Oh.
it's just another way to you know expose more people to spending money.
Mhm. And
But
then still gotta get you if you start a game, you don't finish it, and they pull it off the servers. Now you gotta go out and buy it anyway. So
oh, they
at least you have that option.
I found this game that I really wanted to play. I think it was called something Cyber Ninja or something, and it was coming off of Game Pass 2 days later, and I was like, oh god, I got to beat this game in 2 days, and and I was
Grind
sick.
mode activated.
Yeah, I was sick, so I was like laid out in bed, and I was like, oh, I gotta beat the game before it goes out, but I can't get up. So once I caught my second win, I was like, do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I beat it. I didn't. I went past the midnight mark, but luckily they didn't take it out at midnight. I don't know when they do that. But I was able to beat
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Yeah. Oh man. So I guess that'll conclude our acquisition talk. What are you watching currently on TV that's any good before we
it.
close out?
Vox Machina. There's just all right. It's a good show. It's well animated. The voice acting lineup is stupid big.
Hmm.
Like they have Doctor Who, they have David Tennant in it, and like, all right, and but it's you got to think of where they came from. They're independent. they did a Kickstarter to get this started, and it was the most successful Kickstarter in history. Like, instantly made millions and millions of dollars within the first
Power,
2 hours.
power of anime.
Yeah, and the originally it's a group of people that do a live stream, a group of voice actors that do a live stream for a D&D game.
Oh,
So they play D&D on live stream. It's called Critical Role, and this animated series is their first campaign that they started doing. So, like, I already know the whole story because I've watched the live stream. I'm a huge fan. But there's definitely differences. But this animated stuff is top notch. Top notch.
and that's on Amazon's right
Yeah.
service. They're knocking out of the park with their
Their
animation.
shows, yeah.
So
Yeah,
Shows are
they,
really
let,
good.
they're knocking
let,
out of the park.
here's my moral. I'm going to put a moral quandary to you guys.
Mhm.
All right. So this show came out. It was funded by the audience through Kickstarter completely, the first season. Amazon picked them up and says, "Hey, we want to do more than one season. You can come and do this stuff." And they're like, "Yeah, cool." Um, at the last minute, they released a note to all of their backers saying, "Hey, thank you for all your support. You can watch this on Amazon Prime if you have a Prime subscription." Well, I was under the assumption, maybe I shouldn't have assumed this, that since the backers bought and paid for this full season,
They should have access to
they
it.
should have access to it no problem.
Mm,
So instantly there's a problem here, right?
because if you backed it and you don't have Amazon, you can no longer watch it.
Yeah. In their thing, in their email, they said you can sign up for a free trial to Amazon Prime for 30 days. And they insinuated like you can keep on signing up for free stuff just to watch it.
Mhm.
So, here is my moral quandary. We paid for it. We understood the terms. We would get it for free. We want it. They made a deal with Amazon. I can still watch it for free. It's just a little bit extra work. So the outcome is the same. Now, should I feel a certain type of way because I don't get exactly what I want? Because there's really a victimless crime here. Like
I'd say business wise, no, because you got outbid by Amazon. You did back it. You did put money into it. You didn't. This people got to say Kickstarter. You don't own the product. You're just backing the people who
That's the
made it.
problem. That's the
Hmm.
problem with
So
the
you never
Kickstarter. You
actually
don't have you
owned
don't own
anything.
any intellectual property.
Hmm. You just helped them out,
Yeah,
and then Amazon just came behind you and said, "Oh, this is good. I own this now. This is ours." And so
yeah,
basically, you got outbidded by Amazon.
exactly.
Did you feel upset?
Amazon bought
Yes.
the intellectual property, and now they're
Hmm.
doing with it what they see fit.
Hmm.
Now,
no,
morally, you got fucked,
Yeah.
right?
right.
You
If
got
I'm
fucked.
Amazon,
But like,
you should send each of the people who backed
But at the
Kickstarter
same
a
time,
copy
like
of
you
it.
said, if you can still watch it for free, just a few extra steps, then
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I felt a certain way about it instantly, right? That my initial reaction was an emotional response. But
right.
thinking about it, like, now I get all the seasons that I want. I still can't watch it for free. There's really a victimless crime done here. Should I feel a certain type of way about it? I think, like, intellectually, no.
Intellectually, I would say no because
Emotionally, maybe.
maybe, yeah.
I,
I mean, is there anything or any impactful change that you can create? If no, then there's no point in wasting emotions on the
Yeah.
situation.
I mean,
he
I
suffered
definitely,
emotional damage.
yeah. I mean, definitely, I'm not wasting my time with it because there's nothing I can do. So I'm on that boat. But it's just I see my friends. They're like, I backed this and now I'm boycotting. And I'm like, you're only hurting yourself. You wanted it, like
Yeah.
you wanted it.
What are you actually boycotting? And because it's like you said, it's one of those things where I can't blame Amazon for seeing something that's great and deciding to buy it. I can't get mad at that. I can't get mad at them for putting it on their platform, which is what they're going to do. I can't get mad at them for charging for it. You know,
Yeah.
I can't. I couldn't have bought it. So, in a sense, it's just like, what are you, like you said, what are you really upset about? What do you, as far as like the conversation you have with your friends, like, what are you upset about? It's,
The
things
nice
happen.
thing for Amazon to do would be just to send everyone a physical copy. The people who the Kickstarter campaign is send them a physical copy of the first season, and then just let it go.
Well, what I was expecting you to say was the Kickstarter campaign was going to give them access to the first season somehow or something like that, and some iteration,
That's what the assumption was.
or like
That,
you guys give us, like you said, and granted, like you said, you had a 30-day access or whatever it was, but them giving you Prime access for however long or something like that. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that
but at the end of the day, they're a business. They're they're creators, but it's a business. So
I recommend Legend of Vox Machina Amazon Prime.
gotcha. You
I,
watch anything here lately, Boom?
no. When I had COVID, I caught up on all the Marvel stuff, which was
Uh,
actually really good. Like I was like, it was it was just really good. Like I've watched all the TV series except for Hawkeye. And the only movie I haven't seen is Black Widow. Um, but everything else I saw was actually really good. Eternals was it was
meh.
good. It was all right. It was good.
Mhm.
But all the TV series were really good. Um, I have not watched Book of Boba Fett. I've heard some mixed reviews. I think it's more hype, honestly, and I haven't watched it, but I think it's more hype than it is actually a great quality show. I literally saw someone say, "Let me just be honest, Mandalorian is better than Book of Boba Fett." So, you know, um,
Those would be fighting words or some shit.
I mean,
nah.
you would think that, but I can honestly say that there's validity to it just because the amount of people I've seen talk about it decrease from
Right,
week to week to week. It
right.
started off everybody was like, "Oh, we're watching this. Oh, we're watching this." I have not seen anybody talk about it this past week. So it's not saying it's bad, but
This past week was I've specifically not talked about it because of what's in the episode, and I want
Huge
everybody
spoilers.
to experience what the hell happened in that episode.
well, in that case, I got to catch up. I'm like, what, 4 or 5 episodes I got to watch. So,
Yeah. It's
as its own show, what would you say? As like standalone, not comparing it
Mandalorian's
to
better
anything else.
so far. So far, Mandalorian's better. Season 1 and 2. Book of Boba Fett scratches that itch that a longtime Star Wars fan needed.
Wait, is there a season 2 of Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 seasons. They'll be coming up on the third season whenever they decide to do it.
You sure?
Yeah.
I feel like all that was in one season. Are you certain?
I thought it. Oh man, maybe I might be wrong. Then I felt like it was 2 seasons worth.
Yeah.
I think there's only one season of Mandalorian. I don't think there's two.
No, yeah, it's 2 seasons. 2 seasons. 2 seasons.
That's how you know it's so well done. You be like, wait,
It
is it
is
two
two
seasons
seasons.
or
Yeah, no,
one? It
it's
just
just
flows
that
all
well
together.
done.
It
It's just
flows
that
all
well done.
together. So
Yeah,
well
yeah, yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah. Because the second season was with oh buddy, like getting the sword and all that stuff, and then
Yeah.
he's not actually okay. I'm caught up. I scared myself. I was like, wait, what?
He's about to cut out right now. I gotta go.
Right? I was like,
Start binge.
I'll be back.
Start binge watching. Oh man. I haven't started watching this, but I need to get caught up on the new season of Demon Slayer. I need to jump on that and get caught
hmm
up.
I
I
That
have
heard it.
that
to. Heard it
I
was
heard it's
good.
yeah.
pretty good. Is
That
Pedro Pascal coming back as Mando? I
Shh.
heard there was
Don't
a
say
lot of.
anything.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. We're just gonna cross our fingers and be quiet about it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, unless you want me to talk about spoilers. Spoilers.
No, 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 no. With that being said, Carl Weathers deserves his flowers. Okay,
Yeah.
Carl Weathers deserves his flowers. He's an
Like,
amazing producer.
he's producing?
Yeah, I think he was executive producer for like the first season.
Really?
I want to say
Wow.
yeah. I
Hey,
want
good
to
on
say I
him.
read that
I thought that
somewhere.
was Favreau, but no, yeah, yeah.
He's
No,
he's
Favreau is the director.
Mm,
mhm.
Favreau is the director. I want to say Carl Weathers is the executive producer. I
yeah,
want
Do
to say
no,
that.
you I can only
then
imagine the
props.
power Favreau wields at Disney. Like he just walks into the room and says, "I'm getting this done. Y'all shut up and I'm doing it." Like the dude just makes hit after hit after
Because
hit.
he likes this. He's a fan. He's a fan, right?
Because Happy
Like
is amazing. Like,
Happy is amazing.
just let Happy do what he's gonna do. He's an amazing
like he
person.
can do no wrong. The day if Disney decides to like force him out or push him out, that friend they're done. They're done.
Yeah.
Like he means too much.
Are we allowed to talk about Spider-Man yet?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay.
All right, all right. Hmm. Well, you gotta kind of get that under the belt soon because I think either next episode we want to rank all the Marvel movies. So we're gonna get our whole panel together. We have multiple people here. We're gonna finally put this to bed because we've all been discussing this. We're gonna rank all the Marvel movies. We're gonna go S tier.
Ooh.
A, B, C, and D, and we gotta all come to a consensus of where to rank these movies at. We're gonna get
You
this
know
done.
what's
We're
gonna
we're
happen,
we're
Boom.
not gonna come to a consensus. We're
You know
not.
what's gonna happen, Boom.
Snarf is on my
Civil
side, so
War trash.
Snarf's on my side. Because I spoiler alert, Winter Soldier is an A tier best.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's a
I
B
misspoke.
plus, but
Civil War was very good. I meant Winter Soldier. I
yeah,
misspoke.
I was gonna
I
say
knew I
what?
knew what you meant. I knew what you meant.
Yeah, you know what I
Um,
meant.
I think Civil War. I mean, Winter Soldier is a B tier movie. But I understand why people like Winter Soldier. I think because it's so relatable to, you know, it's so relatable to real world right now. And I
It's
think
an
that's what
important
people
movie.
are holding on to as and what makes it a great movie. But it's fucking terrible. And I'm not gonna say it's terrible, but it's
It's
just
not
not
terrible. It's not a terrible movie. It's just who
it's not a
even was the
fantastic movie.
bad guy. I can't remember anything about that movie.
Well, Bucky was the bad guy, but
Soldier was a bad guy.
Was he the bad
Hydra.
guy?
Yeah,
Was he the
that
he's
bad
a
guy?
and
bad guy. Yeah, Hydra.
Pierce,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it's
Is it?
we'll save
I
that. We'll
think
say we'll
I
save
think
that
that
for the
yeah,
next
we'll save
episode.
that for the next episode. But I think it's gonna be very easy to rank the bad ones. Very easy. I think those are gonna be very easy
You
to
say
stick.
that.
True.
You
True.
say that.
Sure. We can all agree Thor Dark World belongs in the dumpster of the bottom of the barrel of those movies.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
yeah,
But you don't
that'll
know. You don't know. You know,
sure.
opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one.
That
Everybody's
is
got one.
very true. That is very true. And so with that, folks, we're gonna tune on out of here. Please tune into us next week where we begin the battle of the Marvel movies. See you, everyone.
Friendships may be ended next week.
Deuces.